Ooh, very nice. Love to see that. And it's a female. That's so crazy. Well, that is my very first female to land it. Nice to see. I figured I'd start this video with an egg hatch since it started going when I recorded. That's very nice. Love to see that. Can we get a shiny Pharaoh seed too? No, we can't. That is all right. But hi there, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of a not a recap video, a big recap video more so. Just showing my stats and kind of my story with Pokemon Go throughout the years. I've started from the very beginning. I think my official start date from the beginning was I think just a week after the game had come out. So I kind of jumped on the hype bandwagon back then, and haven't really stopped since. But there have been a few hiccups in there, and I'll kind of get into that for sure. So let's take a look here. This is my account. Now I'll pull up my screen. Actually, it probably should have just been up the entire time. So I'm gonna do my best to just keep this unedited, go for it, and just talk about my story and go through a lot of my I'll go through all my badges and my stats there, and just talk about my experience with the game and how it's been for me so far in these surprisingly almost 7 years, right? Because 2016 to 2023, so wow, it's been a long time. But without any further ado, we'll get into it here. Just going to start off with my badges. We'll eventually get into the upper part here. So this is my first in-person event, was the Chicago Go Fest. It was the only event I'd actually gone to, like a Safari Zone or a Go Fest or anything like that. I went just kind of on a whim. I was really into the game, obviously, back then, and I am now, and it was a really fun time. I met a lot of really cool people. Hopefully some people I can meet again. Shout out to Trainer Tips and Brandon Ton, a lot of people that I look up to, and definitely watch their videos. I'm a big fan of a lot of people there, and hopefully I can see them again this year, because I'm going to Las Vegas, and it'll be my second live event since this one. So it's been several years since I've done anything like this, so I'm really excited for that. But this was a great event. It was an incredible memory for sure. Pokemon Go Fest for 2020. This is the start of COVID, so we pretty much got our global Go Fest, because we didn't have any meeting, anything like that. So we just had that event there for everyone. I remember that was a fun little time. Kanto Tour was a really good time. I don't remember exactly why I chose Venusaur. I never played the original games. My first introduction to Pokemon Go, or to Pokemon, was Pokemon Go. I had known a little bit about Pokemon from the card game, seeing certain cards and toys and stuff at my cousin's house. I knew a little bit about it from that, and I never watched the TV show. I didn't play the games. So my biggest connection was honestly probably through Super Smash Bros. Melee. Just recognizing a lot of those character models from the Pokeball item, seeing a lot of the Generation 2 Pokemon for sure, like the legendaries and then the legendary birds. That's definitely where my, at least, beginning knowledge came from with Pokemon, but I didn't really start getting into it. I didn't know much about it at all until I started playing Pogo, so kind of funny, but that's what was going on here with this one. I think I chose Venusaur just based on whatever the bonuses were. I just thought it was better than the Charizard for that time. I don't remember specifically, but that's that. Colossal Discovery was the, I believe, Regigigas special research. I think these were all paid for special research passes, these next few. So I think this was a Genesect one. I don't even remember that one. Mr. Mime. And so yeah, we have the Legacy 40 before 2020. And this is actually a pretty special badge to me. And not because I got it before 2020, mainly just because I got there at all. Because I'm really happy to finally kind of explain and show my journey through the game. And it's not like most people's, I don't think. Because in 2016, right, the game had come out in the summer of July. And I had started about a week after that, and I was pretty much just playing on my own, and eventually some of my friends started playing a little bit, people I went to school with. I was still in high school at the time, and I remember when the season started getting a little colder. Here in Colorado, it definitely gets cold in the winter, and it seemed like people just stopped playing. That's when people had kind of played a lot, and the real big hype train from the very beginning of Pokemon Go kind of died off. But I just loved the game so much. I just wanted to keep playing. I always tried to find a way to, hatch some eggs after school, play in the little town that I went to school in, and I would just stay in my car, stay warm, but I would keep playing the game for sure. I really enjoyed those first year car grinds, kind of just by myself actually, because at that point I didn't really know anyone else who was still playing the game. And eventually, in the following year, I'd met some friends through meetups on like a Discord, and I eventually met one of my really good friends who I'm actually going to be staying with in Las Vegas. So kind of cool to see that come full circle. But that was in I want to say February of 2017, so pretty much a year after, a little bit less than a year after the game had come out. So I'm going to go into some screenshots here. This is from, August 2017. So this was my very first account. So what happened was I had actually lost my very first account because for some reason, silly old me, young naive Jared, only had an email that was connected to my school. I only had a school email, and I didn't have the peace of mind at the time to realize that that email was going to be permanently deleted, and there was not going to be a way to recover it. And I had gone through so many trials and tribulations in order to figure a way to get it back, and I just couldn't. I'd done everything to it. Part of me still wants to just look at all the stats from that account, just open it for an hour just to see it, not play it, not to have it, just to see what those stats would be. But that account was erased, and I was pretty much around this time here. We'll get into that here. I just have a couple screenshots just because they're old, and it's kind of funny to see how the game's changed. I used to be a Team Valor player before I started my new account. So this was, let's see, August, and then this was that same day. This was actually the very first shiny I ever got. In a park that I needed a hotspot on because I had terrible service in that park, playing with that same friend. And this was just a really cool time. It was about, I think it was the very first shiny ever released. It was, I think, Magikarp, then Pikachu. You could see a million dust looked very different. And I remember it was kind of a big deal then. It was like, you had to play quite a bit to get a million dust back in the day. And it doesn't even have commas in between some of those numbers there, which is pretty funny. So this is, I think, as far as I leveled up. This is my last screenshot, and if I remember correctly, I don't have screenshots of it, but I'm pretty sure I had about 13 or 14 million roughly experience on that account. This is before fast catching. This is way before a lot of the methods we know now with AR catching and all that stuff. It was all just slow caught, throw a ball, watch that whole animation. I think I had 22,000 catches. And I used to add those numbers to what I have now, but truthfully, I think I wouldn't have the numbers I have now if I didn't restart. And I'll get into that here in a second, because it was a really hard time, honestly, in order to lose your account. I mean, at that time, it was such a perspective thing looking back on it now, but it was challenging. I was like, okay, a lot of hard things was going on in my life outside of the game. So it was just like, it felt like so many bad things were going on, and I was like, I lost my whole year's worth of progress, right? And I mean, imagine that. Just one day you wake up and you cannot play. Your account's locked. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to retrieve. And I remember I had just put in a decent amount of money because raids had started in the summer of 2017, and I was just putting in some money. I really hadn't yet until raids came out, and I was like, I lost all that money too, and it wasn't like a crazy amount, but it was just one of those things that I remember being very, very bummed out about. And it took me a few weeks, but looks like about a month roughly from at least these screenshots. And I remember one day I was just like, I was bored. I just want to go out and play. I just had too much of a passion for the game. I was kind of sad without it, honestly. I was like, man, I had made all these friends. I was really enjoying just playing. It was so fun to learn about the new Pokemon and all that stuff. You know, Generation 2 had come out that year. And it was just one of those things that I couldn't let go of, you know. And I think it was for the better, really. I think I made a great decision. I'm really proud of it. So my original name was Jerbear40, and then I originally started with this is my current account right here. It's my very first day. So you can see September 19th, 2017 is the very first day I, you know, started. Well, it looks like I started the account on the 17th, but I didn't, you know, start playing until the 19th there. But it was just one of those things that I'm really proud of for just sticking with it. I think it has to do with, you know, perseverance and, you know, one of those things that has to do with perspective. It's hard to look at it now and be like, wow, you know, what would my life be like if I, you know, it would be very different, truthfully. If I had been completely negative and said, hey, that whole year was like, there's no way I'm going to get that back. There's no way I'm going to, you know, but, you know, I just kept moving forward. I had enough of, you know, a passion for the game, and it's carried me on to this very moment, really. So Jerrybear42, I eventually changed it to my current name, Eat on the Haters, which is, I know, a ridiculous name, but that is my current name. And this is the biggest reason why that legacy level 40 badge was important to me, because I had never gotten to level 40, and that was always a really important thing, because I felt that I played the game enough. I wasn't a crazy grinder, and I still am not. I'd always put myself in kind of a casual, hardcore bracket. I'm never going to be as crazy as those guys, you know, Fleece King, Brandon Ton. It's impossible with the way that they keep going. But I still feel like I play a lot more than the average player. And that's just something I'm very proud of, especially getting to level 40 back then. It was about a little less than a year after I had started my account. I had done the whole thing again, and that was a big driver, was just to have fun, to catch new Pokemon, you know, to really just start fresh. And I don't know why, but I don't think I would have had, you know, I don't think I would have the stats and the drive to play the game if I actually hadn't lost my account. Who knows? I might have 100,000 catches and I would have deleted the game. You know, who knows what would have happened. So I think it was a silver lining, you know, a perspective thing. Like, hey, look at the positives. And yeah, so I went up to getting to level 40 in 2018, about a year after I'd started the new account. It's obviously a lot easier having an account start with completely having raids the whole time. But that's pretty much how that went. And skipping forward quite a lot, just to go over this. In 2011, you know, level 50 came out, and I was one of the first people to actually get there, from my knowledge, because you had to go through if you didn't know, or if you didn't know, you had to go through a very, very arduous process, and you had to plan it out quite a lot. So me and a couple friends, 3 or 4 friends, wound up pretty much getting to level 50 as fast as possible, at least in our time zone, because you were only able to at a certain date. It was actually, for us, it was January 29th was the earliest you could get there, at 6 a.m. basically, because of whatever tasks you had to get to if you already had the XP. And one of the tasks from 49 to 50 was, 48 to 50, I believe, or 48 to 49. No, I'm forgetting. I think it was one of the 49 tasks to get to 50, yeah, because you had to wait until 6 o'clock to do some of the leaders. And so I like showing this because, just in general, for more of my story, I really enjoy, I pride myself on excellent throws. It heals a lot of XP now, especially, but I just think it's one of the skill things that can, I guess, differentiate, you know, a player from another, is like, you know, being able to hit an excellent anytime, anywhere, on any Pokemon. So I always pride myself in trying to do that, and luckily I had to kind of showcase that skill, because from right here, level 49 at 1:05 a.m., I was able to get all 99 or 1,000 excellent throws in about 4 hours and 42 minutes. So I'm pretty proud of that, and I don't know, I'm sure there are people, I think I've heard of people doing it in like 3.5 hours or 4, and that's amazing. I mean, that's incredible. But I think it has to kind of depend on the spawn pool at the time, and I was pretty proud of it. So I wanted to show that off there too. And I got to level 50, which was really awesome, honestly, looking back at it. To say that I was starting from scratch in 2017, a full year after the game had come out, even though I'd played that whole first year, slow catching and doing all that fun stuff and learning about Pokemon. To be at level 50, the first from what I believe is the first posted proven level 50 in Mountain Standard Time. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you were one of those people who did it quicker than 6:13 a.m., I know some people in like Central Time and I think Pacific may have done it like 6:11 or whatever, but same difference really. I mean, a lot of people in the U.S. Got it that day, but I'm pretty proud to say that I was one of the first people to get to level 50 in the world, and me and some of my friends, I couldn't have done it without them. It was a really fun time, and I'm just really proud to show that off here. And share that because it was a journey, definitely a grind. I mean, literally several years in the making, and that's my screenshot. This is me down there with the female avatar, and these are my stats. I think that same day. Yeah, these are my stats from pretty much when I turned level 50, and now we'll go over what they are now. So they've changed a decent amount throughout the years. Of course, it's only been 2 years roughly since hitting level 50. It's crazy that it's been 2 years since that's even been released. So I've been level 50 for over 2 years now. It's kind of crazy to say. I really hope that they'll raise it again. I know I'm kind of in the minority there. I know a lot of people are still getting there and getting to 40 and doing all that stuff. People start new every day. New accounts and stuff. But I am one of the few that really wants the level increase to go up in the next year or two. Hopefully that'd be exciting for me. Yeah, so we'll go over the stats again here. You can kind of see that, my start date and everything. I'm going to move on here. So there was a Go Fest. I was in Utah at this time doing a different job, and I remember playing a little bit that weekend, and then this is the next year. These are all kind of global Go Fest that I think you were able to purchase a ticket and just play wherever in the world, so that was nice, kind of like the other ones before, after COVID had started. Johto Tour, I chose Ho-Oh, I think based on whatever spawns or whatever was going on. It's really cool to see these events, and another reason why I'm really excited for the Hoenn Tour, because I remember like early on in like Poke mining, or all the data mining and stuff. My friend and I were really excited to see that some of the all the Kanto Pokemon had their shiny in the game, and we thought, we were all speculating, getting really excited, like, oh man, we're gonna be able to get all the, are they gonna just drop them all at once, and that never happened. But that's kind of how Niantic decided to do it, was with these tours, and at the very least you get each generation finished up with the shinies. They slow release them up until then, but it's pretty cool way of doing that. I think they're really fun events. I don't even remember what this one was, so there's that. Elite Collector Challenge, Collector Badge, I want to say I have the most I can get besides going to Safari Zones, because I haven't gone to any of those, since. I think there are, ways of having like 80 or 90, but I think I have all that I could have gotten without any extras. I could be wrong, but I think 79 is, complete as far as that goes. So yeah, either way, 79, that's what I'm at too. So my badges here, 10, 8446. So I recently just gotten this, and I think it was my 50th overall plat badge. So I'm pretty proud of this one. It's kind of lower than I think a lot of people who play as much as me, but I mainly car grind. And if you didn't know, walking actually tracks your distance much better than in the car. There are ways to do it in the car that are pretty efficient, but you're never going to get the same amount of distance. So that's why mine is kind of low. I think it's kind of low, but I'm proud to finally get platinum on this. Kanto, of course, 151. Collector, yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one. Trades are included in this, so you could just subtract whatever my trades are later, and whatever the collector badge is, to see how many I've actually, caught. But, getting close to 500,000, I would have never guessed that. So, when I started the game, it's really cool. And I definitely just like to keep pushing. It's fun to just see those numbers go up. I feel like I'm really hardcore when I want to be. That's what's kept me playing, is because I don't just grind all the time. I can't do that. That's just not sustainable for me, really. So the only way I stay consistent is just choosing the Pokemon and the events that I want to catch and play. Especially events like with Snorlax and Munchlax. I have my little friend here. This is my favorite Pokemon is Snorlax for sure, and my friend got me this Munchlax, so little cameo. So that's pretty fun. And you can see here with the site, we'll go to eggs real quick because we're talking about Munchlax. I pretty much only spend on incubators too. For 12Ks and for 10Ks, I usually just have my infinite going on 2s and 5s, and I'll open gifts and do the 7Ks when it comes to events where I want to hatch shiny Munchlax, which I don't have, by the way. I hatched like 200 eggs. Rough stuff. But yeah, I will only spend on those types of events where like, okay, I really want to maximize the egg hatches and the Stardust and all that fun stuff, or XL candy now. So that's where my badge is at there, almost 9,000. That's pretty cool. Going back here, scientists, there's no real need to evolve that much anymore. I think these are, I've never tried since, raids have been a thing, and that's been this whole account. So I don't know what my scientist was when I was actually evolving for XP. But yeah, 7,600, there it is. Moving on pretty quickly here. Hopefully I can get through this in a reasonable amount of time. Hopefully it's a 30 to 40 minute video. It's gonna be a longer one, but it's not hopefully gonna be too long. And so my backpacker to, my stop spun to my Pokemon caught ratio is pretty low, I think, from what I know about most people who have a decent amount of catches. I just don't, I have a good area around me where I can spin a lot of Pokestops, obviously. But I think part of it has to do with, honestly, excellence and gifts being a thing where you can start, getting Pokeballs from gifts. That's been pretty huge, I think, because I don't feel like per catch, I don't need to spin as many stops. So it's a badge. I don't know what to say about that one. But yeah, almost 200,000. That'll be cool to get to like 250,000. So I don't know. That's one I don't really care too much for, but it's there. Sightseer, I got over twice the platinum, so that's pretty cool. I went to Peru in September, and I think it's probably helped with it quite a lot. I haven't traveled a whole ton, so that's partly the reason why it's not like super duper high. But hey, I'm happy to have plat, and now twice plat. Didn't even know that, so that's cool. Fisher, I just recently got this. This was one that I didn't want to trade for. I just wanted to get it. It was one of those kind of, I felt like an OG badge to me, where it's like, man, if you played a lot back in the day, you had probably a lot more Magikarps, because Magikarps were spawning a lot more, and I remember there were, like, that very first shiny Magikarp, there were big Magikarp nests that, you'd go and catch and get a bunch of candy, because you needed a bunch for Gyarados, and good memories. But I'm happy to finally, with all the different water events that have happened, finally get this one, I think in the last year or so that was fun. I don't do a lot of battles. I know, I'm sure people have tons and tons and tons more than I do, because I've never really cared for battles. It's not my play style, and if it's yours, it's great. I'm happy you enjoy it. For me, I care more about grinding and catching and Stardust and raiding. That's a lot more fun for me. GBL 2 at times, GBL sometimes, but yeah, this only accounts for gym battles, so that's what that one is. Ace Trainer, this is one that I'm proud of having, because I did it the new, slow, terrible way, because I don't know what my Ace Trainer was from the first year, because this is a system that was implemented with the old gym system, pretty much. But I did it the new, terrible way, which was battling the team leaders and doing all that, which took a long time. It was a pain in the butt, but I remember just, I was like, oh man, if I can do this while I'm watching, sports or YouTube videos or whatever, You know, I can do this on the side, and eventually I just kind of grinded it up, and this is one I'm proud of, but one I don't want to go back to. Not at all. Pikachu fan. I don't care too much for Pikachu. A lot of my friends trade for Pikachu, so their badges are ridiculous, but I don't care for them. So these are pretty much just all caught Pikachu. So there's that. Johto, yep, all 100. Champion, I am proud to have this one. I usually just try to do my free passes and kind of maximize the champion badge, because I typically just spend, when it comes to legendary raids or mega raids or whatever, which actually mega raids count for this, but you know, I mean the primals that'll come out, and then the legendary ones we've had before with Latios and Latias. But yeah, champ badge, I'm proud to have it up there finally. Long time in the making. Also got it last year, so that's pretty cool. My Battle Legends, I think, pretty solid. Yes, I've spent a decent amount, but I really enjoy it. You know, I feel like I've gotten pretty lucky, honestly, with the amount of raids I've done versus, you know, shinies and legendaries and shundos. And that'll be coming hopefully soon in a new video. I'm actually going to be trying to do 2 more videos today. So I'm going to hopefully get this one out before Calm Day, and then I'll be able to do a couple more after for the Crackling Voltage event and then the Calm Day. So hopefully I'll get 3 videos up today. We'll see how ambitious that is. It seems pretty ambitious, but we'll get this figured out here pretty soon. So yep, getting close to 6,000 on the Battle Legend. Makes sense. It's nice. I do love raiding. Raiding is a very fun part of the game. Berry Master, I think I cared about this a while ago, but I don't anymore. This one, it's one that I do on occasion when I want Excel for a certain Pokemon I'm in a gym with, or that I drop in. But I usually just get rid of berries, and it's sad because Stardust, you know, it's just free Stardust. But it just takes so much time, and sometimes I just can't be bothered, so I don't. Yeah, this is pretty much just from dropping in gyms. I don't usually take out gyms unless I'm really close to gold. I do care about getting gold gyms once I'm close to naturally getting them gold, but I don't really care too much for all of the gym stuff. Not too concerned. 135 for all the Hoenn. Yep, gonna get the Hoenn tour soon. Get all the shinies. Hopefully, that'd be awesome. This one I'm very proud of. I love this badge. It's not a crazy amount. I know I've slowed down a lot in the last year or so, actually, with this one in particular. But I remember when it came out, I was so excited to just do research. Research is one of the things that has actually kept me playing the game very consistently. I don't know, something about that system has just been awesome. And I feel like I have a pretty solid badge. I know I'm not gonna have anything crazy like, you know, those big grinders that have over hundreds of thousands. But I think I have more than the average player, and I'm proud of the amount of research I've done, considering the stop spawn and everything. I really like this badge, and it was a survey thing that we had been doing in my community for a while, and this is one of the ones that I was in the, oh gosh, it was like a global, it was like 90th to 95th percentile for a while. That was like 2 years ago, but yeah, I'm really proud of this badge overall. I think it's a fun one, and definitely appreciate that number and it going up. Now this is my idol. I don't really grind, you know, XP as far as best friends. This is easily the best way to do it. If you're not aware, yeah, you definitely want to work on best friends if you're looking for experience. Be really, you know, intentional about opening gifts and adding new friends, and there's all kinds of systems you can get to re-adding friends and getting millions and millions and millions and millions of XP, even billions now, honestly. But this is just one that I, you know, I've added people from around the world and from my, you know, local community, and I don't really care too much for, unless I have to, unless I really have to with the next level increases, whenever that happens, but we'll see. All right, gentlemen, I've traded a decent amount. One of my friends in particular I've traded a lot with. He's one that I have a lot of my hundo trades from, because obviously I've traded with him the most. Getting close to 50,000, which is pretty crazy, honestly. It's, what, 5 million Stardust or something just from trades, almost, or something like that. It's like, yeah, I think so. I don't know if my math's right, but yeah, it's pretty intense. But yeah, it's a good badge. I'm happy with it. Trading's really important, and I really enjoy luckies and completing my lucky decks. That's a really fun part of the game too. So I like getting new luckies. I like getting hundos through trades. So it's very fun, and especially XL. That's one of the biggest reasons why my badge is the way it is, because XL came out and the guaranteed XL trades are huge. So yeah, those are pretty similar numbers. It's kind of funny, 4-6 something. But yeah, for almost at 50 million and 50,000 trades, but almost 50 million kilometers with trades, which is pretty crazy. You know, I trade with a lot of people, you know, for distance trades. You know, a lot of them wind up sending me distance eggs, because I don't hatch nearly as much as some of the people that I know, but I do my fair share of trades and egg hatches as well. So I think just overall, I never really cared too much for this specific badge, but this is just kind of where it's at, just naturally. So there it is. GBL. Now these numbers are kind of skewed a little bit because they're all over 1,000, mainly because I was trying to get these badges grinded just to get to a certain level of platinum badges. Before, you know, because it was a threshold you had to hit for level 50. They wound up lowering it right before, so I didn't even need to do this, but I don't really know where they would actually be if it was just counting, you know, GBL, because this includes your you know, battles with other trainers you know from the friends list and also from Go Battle League. So, but here they are. I play some, not a lot, but we can get into another video. I'll talk about my GBL Pokemon and all those stats there. Cameraman. I remember my very first phone. Not my very, but my phone that I had when this feature came out, when Smeargle finally came out, I actually didn't have like a gyroscope, like a working gyroscope or something like that, and there was no way of taking a snapshot that way. I don't know, there's some kind of error with it, but so I'm just happy to have it plat and have a decent amount over it, because yeah, I couldn't take screenshots for the longest time actually, so it was nice to finally upgrade devices and be able to do that. I remember I was using one of my friend's like secondary phones for a while just to do Smeargles at the beginning. It was fun. Purifier, I have completely stopped basically after getting platinum. I just don't care. At this point, I don't want to spend really any more dust than I have to when it comes to purifying. I mean, I just don't see the point. It's just, there's the badge. If there's ever an extra badge after platinum, eventually, yeah, I'll work on it, but until then, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna fret. So yeah. Oh, look at that. Looks like I got just over 7,000 Team Go Rocket members defeated, partially because of this new event. I've been doing a decent amount of leaders and rockets. I'm going to try to do a video actually tomorrow as well, showcasing that with this most recent event, and then also just in general all my shadow Pokemon. So that'll be a fun video for sure. Definitely the strongest Pokemon in the game, so happy to have 7,000 done. Really useful, really fun to do too, because it's kind of like they're like mini raids, right? You kind of get a chance at hundos, and they're incredibly powerful, so it's always fun to do rockets. Love doing them. Triathlete, I've actually stayed on top of this quite a lot. I've definitely missed a handful of weeks, and I like to align my you know, my daily catch, my daily spin, and my research breakthrough, so that the 7th day is always on a Saturday. That's just my OCD. I just want it Sunday through Saturday. That's just how I am. So there are certain weeks that I've missed. If I miss a day, then I'll kind of like realign them again, and miss certain, you know, I'll miss a week or two or whatever it needs to be in order to figure it out. But I've been pretty consistent. I think I've been close to or over a year with it. You know, been doing my dailies. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Getting close to 300, which is pretty cool. It counts, yeah, both the catch and the spin streaks. So each week you get 2 if you're on top of it, I believe. So Rising Star, don't really care for this one, if I'm being honest. I don't try to get a whole bunch of the costume things and all the tier 1s and 3s now, and well, when they were 2 and 4 as well, I just, you know, this is all just natural, whatever I choose to do. I don't know what the maximum could be, but 212 is where I'm at. Getting close to the end here. I'll try to go a little quicker. I know this video is probably taking 30-40 minutes, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm happy to just do a long drawn out video, kind of show all this stuff for those who are interested, and I'm happy to show it. So it'll be pretty fun. Yeah, I'm getting close to 5,000 the Rising Star Duo, which is pretty crazy, considering that. Yeah, my raid badge for legendaries is only just a little bit higher than this, and this is a newer badge that didn't actually have all of those stats from before, so that's kind of interesting. This one I pretty much got to plat and stopped. It looks like I have a lot more, but funny enough, I remember I just tried to. It was Machop Community Day. Community Day. I think it was last year or the year before. I'm forgetting, but I think it was 2021 now. It's crazy, but I think this one was one that I just tried to own all of downtown, which was like at least 60 or 70 stops. Like I just wanted to get. I would because at the time I think there was some bug that was going around, and I didn't understand it fully, and I was just trying to maximize the amount of catches I could get, because a lot of people's badges weren't going up at the same rate as other people's, and so I just tried to own all of downtown for Machop Com Day, because it was triple Stardust, much like today's Noibat Com Day, and I just tried to get it over 2,500. I think I was like 1,000 away, and I'm like, I need to get this plat. I think it was because of level 50, so it would have been 2001 or something, or 2021, and I wound up getting like 5,000 from that, so it worked out in my favor. I just had every lure basically going on that day, like in downtown, so that was nice, but I haven't really done much since then because I don't really pop lures. So there's that badge. Mega Evolve a Pokemon. Yeah, I like to do my megas all the way to Mega 3 as best I can. This is one that I know I could be much higher in if I cared about cycling through all the Pokemon that I could Mega for free, but I just, again, like berries and other things, sometimes I just can't be bothered. Don't have the time for it, but it's nice that I have plat. Yeah, Raid Expert, I think this is the last platinum one, right? Yep. Got a lot of those. Cool. It just kind of is what it is. I like to try to get the hardest hitter because I care a lot about having the most maximized potential for damage when it comes to raids. So getting the best DPS team as possible. Most I can do in a raid is always fun. So I like to go for that one, but obviously the whole system's broken. But yeah, so there's that one. You can get all kinds of different little medals in there. The youngster is kind of, the reason why it's gold is, yes, because I haven't fully, I've committed to doing it the way that Magikarp is done, so I just want to catch them all. I don't want to trade for any of them. I could have had it done long ago, but it's just one of those kind of ones that I personally, because of having OG roots, I'm like, I just want to catch it. I just want to do it like the authentic way. It's all authentic, but it's just a weird thing in my mind that I just want to do it. So I'm rounding in on it, but tiny rats are hard to come by, honestly, when it comes to catches, so there's that. I'm pretty proud of this one. Not quite plat on this one. I have, I believe, 25 that are legitimate from, like my catches or events, or from trades for people who actually went to those events in person. I think there's one Q that may or may not have been spoofed to, that I got lucky traded to me, I believe, and I'm not positive. But I have 26 in my decks, actually. I need 2 more. I need M and I need Y. But I'm kind of... I would feel good about getting the Platinum badge if I got an authentic Q as well. So if I get those 3, I'll feel like I have Plat. So those are those. I have a few shinies as well. Let's see. Sinnoh, yep. I don't know, actually, what the max is for Sinnoh right now. I don't know if it's 104 or 106, or I'm pretty sure it isn't 107. But yeah, so there's that. I have 104 in there. Unova, the same. I know it's not max, but I don't have the most that I can. Sometimes I hold on to evolutions as well. If I don't have a lucky yet, I'll always evolve a lucky all the way up, no matter if a Conde or not. Unless it's a hundo, then I'll wait to evolve it if it gets a Conde, because I'm not in any rush to evolve certain things like that, if they're just kind of silly, useless things. But a lot of my evolutions I'm holding off on, so there's that. Best buddies, I'm really proud of this one. Much like my research, I think I've slowed down a ton in the last year or so. But I got to 100 really pretty quick, like 115. But in the last year or so, I've only done 12 because I do this thing where I'll rotate, all 12 of my buddies, or all 21 of my buddies every day. And I was doing that for about a year and a half, and just getting, a few hearts with the buddies that, I'm not like actually walking on the map, and I'll just try to do that daily. But I've gotten a lot of best buddies that way. But Plat is a long way away, and I kind of saw it as daunting, and I went up kind of stopping, and kind of like the berries and everything else, and the ace trainer, I'm just like, ugh, can't be bothered to do it, and so I kind of slowed down. But recently I've been doing better at getting some of those going again, so I'm excited to finally get that one up to Plat. I'm pretty close, but still pretty far, so a little bit of work there to go for sure. Kalos, no real words on that. It's just not a complete gen yet. We'll get there eventually. I've done 18 of the Giovannis. I think I believe I have, and I'll show this in my shadow video tomorrow. I believe I have all the released shadow legendaries that have been out, including the Reggie Steel, which I just did. Because I just like the collection of it. I do want at least one shadow of each, even though I know it's not useful. It's garbage, and mine was pretty garbage as far as PvP and stuff is concerned. But I just want it for collection's sake, and I still already have 4 Shadow Mewtwo, so I don't feel like I'm missing out as far as that, because we've had many other chances to get Super Rocket Radar, so that's fine there. Alola, not quite at 50, 86 is total. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. So yep, we're at 45 there. Let's see, the Mega Evolution Guru. Yeah, so there's going to be 46, and I believe, I don't know if that's I don't think that's counting the primals, but I think roughly if you count the primals, it'll be like 48 or 49 actually on this list. I could be wrong. I think it's actually just 48, but yeah, so we're at 28 now. I think I have everything. I'm getting everything pretty much close to Mega 3 that I have 100% of. Kangaskhan, I don't have one yet, and same with Latias. Latias I don't have a hundo of, so I think that I might be missing both of those. I might not have used any of that energy yet, Mega Energy, but I don't know. We're at 28, so this is a new one which I'm really excited to actually have in the game. It kind of makes things a little more spicy, a little more fun, a little more variance. I think I started off with, excuse me, about like low 40, I think it was like 42 or 40 something a couple weeks ago, and this had been like backlogged and was tracking a couple of them, but they're actually pretty common. I've been playing a decent amount in the last few weeks, and with trades and everything too, you can actually get 500 pretty quick. I feel like in the perspective of the game, like I feel like in a year, like it won't be too hard. It won't be like a crazy thing to say like, okay, that badge is done, just without just naturally catching and playing and trading. So I'm not going to worry too much about this, but it's nice to see those numbers go up. They're pretty fun to find too. So Galar region, there's not too many of them. 89, I didn't really realize that there were that many. So we have 13 now. There hasn't been a lot released, obviously, but I'm also holding on to evolutions, I believe. So there's that. Oh, this one's so awful. The the referral. I have 2, a different account, and my girlfriend who just recently started. Those are the only ones I've done. So 50's a lot. I don't know how I'm ever gonna get that, but we'll see. Maybe one day. Hisuian region, okay, there's supposed to be 7. That's actually kind of interesting. I don't know what that's about, but we have 1, so fantastic. The Wayfarer, this one is so frustrating to me because I feel like my progress is blocked because I've done several submissions of agreements and stuff. But if you don't know about this, this is something you can do to kind of help vote for nominated Pokestops and POIs in the game. To help approve them or not approve them. And I've done a bunch, but it halted me at 10. I've done like over 100 Wayfarer agreements, and I've stopped because it's like, I don't know why I'm just like stuck in this queue, and I don't know, it's kind of annoying, but there's that. So eventually I'd love to get it up there, but I won't start doing them again until, they start letting me do them. Like, I don't know why they don't let me do them, but there's that. So yep, that's pretty much everything. Let's just make sure here. Yeah, we went through these guys. Those are all in there. You can see my total XP. I didn't actually show you that yet, but that's my total XP. Pretty proud of it, honestly. It's what, because it's 20 million to get to level 40, so 17 times level 40. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's very nice. And let's see, scrolling down here, I think gold gems, by the way, too. I believe I have, let's see, I think it's like, I could count them all, but I think I have roughly like 130, 140, so an okay amount. But again, I don't care too much for gems. A lot of my gems come from dropping or raiding, so there's that. Oh yeah, it skips over the Pavilion one. So here's my Pavilion badge. I don't have any friends in these regions. Sun, Savannah, Sandstorm, Icy Snow. I had one from Meadow, but I think it's because someone was traveling. So I don't actually have anyone else as of right now. But I get a lot of high plains because that's where I'm at. So there's those. Eventually I'd like to get that to plat. It'd be fun. Then I'll go over the typing badges real quick, just sift through them. Wow, that's pretty cool. That'll be a fun one to get eventually. Almost 100,000 just normal type. It's ridiculous. 22, 49. I'll just simply go over these just to kind of show it for you. I know this video is getting kind of longer now. Looks like, yeah, a lot of water events, 65,000. Psychic's pretty high. Some of these are not going to be quite as high. Looks like my lowest is going to be, what, 13,000 with steel? There's that fairy with 16. Oh, 16.5, 60. Oh, it would be fairy right now. Fairy's the lowest. And this one is 18. Okay. So, yep, that's pretty much it. I think for now, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I'll look back here just to see. Yep, those are all the screenshots I had ready. So thank you very much for watching, for sticking around if you stuck through the whole video. I really appreciate it, and I want you to, you know, just be happy. You know, be happy with your pogo experience, no matter what your stats are. If you're more of a casual player, you should feel proud of whatever you actually like to do. You know, so. I'm happy to show off what I do and how I play a little bit and kind of what my stats are about and my story. It was fun to share that, you know, publicly with people that I, you know, don't actually know. I know a lot of people in my community know that I restarted, but yeah, I lost my first account, restarted. It was a challenging and arduous process, but hey, we're here now. We're doing YouTube videos, and I couldn't be happier, honestly. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the comments and those of you that are sticking with me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to get some more content out later today and the rest of this week, so look out for that. Follow me on Twitch. I might play some games in there as well, either GBL or maybe stream Pogo, or you know, any other games. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Have a good calm day.